I stood at the edge of my tiny apartment, staring at the peeling wallpaper and the flickering light above. I was 30 years old, broke and disillusioned. My bank account was a disaster. My credit card bills were monstrous and the future seemed a bleak, uncharted territory. It was in that dimly lit moment that I realized I had been my own worst enemy. Over the years, I had made countless mistakes that kept me anchored in poverty. However, this story is not one of defeat, but of transformation. Let me share the 7 critical mistakes that kept me poor and the steps I took to overcome them. Mistake number 1, living without a budget. For years, I lived paycheck to paycheck, oblivious to where my money was going. I spent recklessly on dining out, clothes, gadgets, and impulsive online shopping. There was no tracking, no planning, and absolutely no saving. It felt like my money disappeared into a black hole. Turning point, embracing financial literacy. One day, a friend introduced me to a personal finance book, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Reluctantly, I read it. The concept of budgeting hit me like a bolt of lightning. I started tracking every penny using apps like Mint and YNAB. I categorized expenses, cut unnecessary ones, and set limits for each category. For the first time, I felt in control. Budgeting became my roadmap, showing me exactly where I was and guiding me to where I wanted to be. Mistake number 2, relying on one source of income. I had a decent job, but it was my sole source of income. When the company downsized, I found myself without a paycheck and with mounting bills. The financial safety net I thought I had turned out to be non-existent. Turning point, diversifying income streams. I realized that relying on a single income was like building a house on a foundation of sand. I started exploring side hustles and passive income opportunities. I taught myself graphic design through online courses and took on freelance projects. I also invested time in learning about stocks and real estate, creating small but steady streams of passive income. This diversification not only stabilized my finances, but also opened doors to new opportunities and networks. Mistake number 3, neglecting to save and invest. Saving was always something I planned to do next month. Investments? They seemed like a game for the wealthy. I left my money sitting in a low-interest savings account, eroded by inflation. Turning point, the power of compound interest. A seminar on personal finance introduced me to the magic of compound interest. Inspired, I set up an emergency fund and started contributing to a retirement account. I educated myself on index funds and began investing a portion of my income regularly. Watching my investments grow gave me a sense of security and confidence. I wasn't just saving money, I was building a future. Mistake number 4, avoiding debt management. I avoided my credit card statements like the plague, making minimum payments and ignoring the ballooning interest. Debt was a shadow that loomed over every financial decision, causing stress and limiting my options. Turning point, confronting and conquering debt. Enough was enough. I gathered all my bills, listed my debts, and created a plan. Using the debt snowball method, I tackled the smallest debts first, gaining momentum and confidence with each victory. I negotiated with creditors for lower interest rates and consolidated where possible. Gradually, the burden lifted. The sense of freedom and relief was indescribable. I learned that facing debt head-on was the only way to diminish its power over me. Mistake number 5, ignoring financial education. I used to think that finance was a complex world, reserved for bankers and Wall Street moguls. My lack of knowledge kept me from making informed decisions and left me vulnerable to bad advice. Turning point, investing in knowledge. I committed to learning. I read books, attended seminars, listened to podcasts, and followed financial blogs. The more I learned, the more empowered I felt. Understanding financial concepts allowed me to make smarter choices, from negotiating salaries to choosing investments. Financial literacy transformed money from a source of anxiety into a tool for achieving my goals. Mistake number 6, fearing risk. I was overly cautious, avoiding any financial move that seemed risky. This fear kept me from investing, starting a business, or even negotiating a raise. I played it safe and stayed stuck. Turning point, calculated risk-taking. I learned that not all risks are equal. Educated risks can lead to significant rewards. I started small, investing in a friend's startup with money I could afford to lose. The venture paid off and my confidence grew. I began taking more calculated risks, investing in higher return assets, negotiating for better pay, and eventually starting my own side business. Each success, no matter how small, built my risk tolerance and opened new paths to financial growth. Mistake number 7, maintaining a negative mindset. I constantly told myself that financial success was for others, not for me. This self-defeating mindset kept me from even trying to improve my situation. Turning point: cultivating a positive mindset. I stumbled upon the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, which taught me the difference between a fixed and a growth mindset. I started challenging my negative thoughts, replacing them with affirmations and visualizations of success. I surrounded myself with positive influences, books, people, and experiences that encouraged growth. This shift in mindset was perhaps the most crucial change. It fueled my actions and sustained my efforts through setbacks and challenges. Overcoming these mistakes was not an overnight process. It required consistent effort, patience, and resilience. There were setbacks and moments of doubt, but each step forward reinforced my belief that change was possible. Today, my financial landscape looks vastly different. I have a robust savings account, multiple income streams, and investments that grow steadily. My debt is under control, and I am constantly learning and adapting. More importantly, I have a mindset that embraces growth and possibilities. One of the most rewarding aspects of this journey has been the ability to help others. I started a blog to share my experiences and lessons learned. The feedback from readers who found hope and guidance in my story has been incredibly fulfilling. It reminded me that our journeys are interconnected, and by lifting ourselves, we can lift others too. In retrospect, those 7 mistakes were not just financial missteps, they were life lessons. Each mistake taught me something invaluable about myself, my relationship with money, and my potential to change. The path to financial freedom was also a path to personal growth, resilience, and empowerment. Standing in my now bright and comfortable home, I often reflect on those dark days. I am grateful for the lessons learned and the strength gained through overcoming adversity. My story is a testament to the power of awareness, education, and mindset in transforming our lives. If you find yourself trapped in financial struggles, remember that change is possible. Start with small steps, seek knowledge, and believe in your capacity to grow. Your past mistakes do not define your future. With determination and the right strategies, you can rewrite your story and build the life you dream of.